Okay. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning,
Quickly, briefly, just introduce yourself to us.
My name is Chief Peter Ojonugo Ameh.
All right.
I've done several other things in serving the country. I was former national chairman of the Progressive Alliance (PPA), as former two-time national secretary of the Interparty Advisory Council of Nigeria, two-time national chairman Interparty Advisory Council of Nigeria. Served with Ameh of Labour Party in the Peace Committee formed by Jonathan. Was member of Oil and Gas Polytechnic, appointed by Jonathan.
Okay.
Several other things that let me not bore you with too much introduction.
That's correct. Now, quickly, Labour. Today, you are now a chieftain in Labour Party. How did you come about Labour Party, and what is that uniqueness about Labour?
For me, Labour, I've always been part of Labour. That's why I was in another party. It's obvious to our friends because my best friend at the time that we were managing Labour together, A. Salam, a blessed memory, may God rest his soul, was a very good friend of mine. And we had to be managing the Labour, and I saw a lot of potentials in Labour. So I was always involved in the activity of Labour. Attended all the NEC meetings and conventions for over a period of 10 years now. So I know that the workers wake up one day to realize, just like what is done in the United Kingdom, where the Labour Party is the leading political party in the United Kingdom. The day the workers wake up to fight for their own right through the own political, how they call it, organization that belongs to them, I know Nigeria will start to become better. So that vision was always centered at the point of my my reason for joining Labour, because as we speak, the people who are the end receiving end of the current bond of our system are the workers who receive a minimum wage of 18,000 naira as a go-home pay, and in some states where they pay percentage of 6,000 naira, 4,000 naira, and where the bag of rice has gone to 30-something thousand naira. So how does these people survive if you look at it, holistically for a month? How do they survive? How do I buy millet? How do I buy rice? How do I buy salt and all that? So workers are actually the ones who are suffering more in every economy that is not working, in every economy that is in a state of continuous decline. So if we must set it right, it must be through the working system, working workers' political party. And that's why I fell in love with Labour. In their manifesto, it was very, very interesting. And what I saw with what they want to do for Nigerian workers, what they want to do for people, public sector workers, and what they want to do for artisans was massive. So I felt I should be part of the revolution to make sure Nigeria work and make what they call legislation that will protect the right and interest of our people.
So are you now saying that this movement is driven by workers or the youth?
The movement is, when you call a movement is all encompassing. If a movement is segmented, if it's given to one group and you eliminate the other groups, that means it's not a movement. It's a one-sided interest. Because one people, one demographic cannot take up government and then win like that. The youth are actually the major front runners. They are the ones who have given this movement the impetus, the grease, the oil it needs to run on speed. But every person who has good interest for Nigeria, who believe in the Nigerian system, who believe in one indivisible Nigeria as a country and want it to stay like that and progressive, all those people are part of the people driving this movement. And it is for the sake that the frustrations of Nigeria from 1999 to today, the state is, like I said, is in a continuous decline. It has not improved. When you buy rice 1,500 in 2000, and now it's 30-something thousand. So even by 2015 it was 8,000. So it wasn't even improving. When they say something is continuously declining, that means there's no state of improvement. People went to school in the 60s and the 50s and got their tuition fee paid. They ate in the cafeteria for free as university students. And right now, people are paying through their nose as it's on strike. Students can't go to school. Though what ASU is fighting for is a better educational system. Because if we have workers, if we have people who are serving us, in public sector, who are ministers, who are governors, and their children are going to school overseas, there's no way our public system can improve. Let me tell you, you have to bridge the gap between the poor and the rich those days. When you go to ABU, you find the son of a minister there, son of a governor, son of a permanent secretary. They're all there. And when the son of the farmer, whose son is very brilliant, got an admission to go to ABU, he meets these people.
That's correct.
He familiarizes with them. He becomes a part of their network. And from that being part of their network, he raises his own net worth.
That's correct.
So these facts are very there. People don't know how a system is destroyed. They think a system is destroyed just by bad governance, bad person being in government. It's destroyed by not doing the right thing. If those people are not mingling together. When we're growing up, we could play football with son of rich people on the same street. We could play football we could go to classes, lesson classes with those whose parents were well to do. But now the segregation is so high.
The gap is much.
The gap is much. It's just like the slavery time between the white and the black. That's what we're doing to ourselves as black people, as one people with one culture, with one historical background, with one identity. We have betrayed that trust. So for me, I believe that for us to work this out, we must go along with where the youth are driving this movement to. We must be with where they are driving to. Every human living in Nigeria with good conscience must be pushing this cause.
All right, you are the leading candidate or chieftain of Labour Party in Kogi State, and you are going in for Federal House of Representative. Why did you choose to go to Federal House of Representative?
When I saw what it was, I remember many years ago, I was driving, a governor was in the car. I worked with several people in Nigeria. So we're driving through Ejule, we're going, and when you go to Southeast, you go to Anambra.
Yes.
You can't find those houses you find on our pathways, in our communities, on highway. You can't find them anymore. There's prosperity because the people, self-governance and how they call it, proper governance system has actually helped them to grow. But our people, when not moving, because those who are elected now start to act like king. They now want our people to worship them. They now want our people to call them, your Royal Highness. When you are elected to serve, a place of public service, when you are elected, you are just the servant. You are not even the lead. You are not even supposed to be the Royal Highness that they have claimed to become. So I saw that we needed to bring governance closer to our people. We needed to do things right. We needed to make legislation that will be driven to community development, that will be driven to people's oriented interest, that will promote the welfare and well-being of our people, and also be able to make legislation. Because what the National Assembly basically does is to make legislation, make law for good governance and protection of our communities and life. So what we will do, based on the extended executive functions that have been given to the National Assembly, which is meant by constituency project, the ability to have certain constituency projects, mainstream into the constitution, into the budget, and then passed to benefit your community. What we will do is not this repeated, how they call it, issue that have been done, that people dig borehole, people talk about, street light. What we'll do is how to make sure that we build the artisan culture, we build the workmanship culture of our people, because our people are enterprising. The Igala people were driven by pride all through the history. We have never been conquered by anybody. We are driven by pride of our identity as Igala people. So what we want to do is to empower the young people in our community to be able to be self-sustaining because of the current lack of jobs that are not available. To drive legislation that will create, centers that will train more youth, to work and then work our people to prosperity. If you go to Igbo land, people talk about penetration of education in Igbo land, and you go there and you look at even the Harvard School, they have seen that the trade system that Igbos practice, the transfer of wealth from one person to other, has actually improved on the lives of those people from those areas. So we must be able to encourage our people and provide that avenue for them to also prosper in a way that will benefit our communities.
Corruption, economy, insecurity. These are the three main things that, of course, if it is properly fixed, Nigeria will not be in this state. What's your plan for this?
Corruption, like we said, is because people who are in government, if you are in a state of authority and you participate in corrupt practices, you definitely, people under you also will do the same. A lot of things have been automated, and for us, we will try to make laws to, the corruption is actually in the budgeting system. The corruption in Nigeria is in the budgeting and appropriation system, because people put in projects and repeat projects, and then projects have been executed, are also still repeated in this thing. So we'll have time to be able to go through this process so that we will know those who are intending to use those avenues to steal our money. That is what we're going to do. Every budget that comes, we'll scrutinize it, and those ones that are meant for the interest, to protect the interest of the constituency we come from, we'll make sure that they pass through and they are done in the best interest of our people. We're not going to be doing projects on boreholes, on how they call it, boreholes that are not going to work after 1 year, or how they call it, small set build toilet and then come for commissioning. We're going to be doing something that will change the life of people so that corruption will be minimal. You know, corruption in our system is the reason why we're not going anywhere. And for security, there's a way we must put the system in check. We must make sure that you can't be releasing budget to the armed forces without proper check. And that's what the National Assembly is for. There is no check and balance to do, they call it oversight functions. What are those who are chairman of committee of finance, chairman of committee of finance, chairman of committee of the army and the armed forces as a whole? What are they doing? Have they been able to look at the equipment that we buy and what those equipment are doing? Those equipment, are they arriving in the quality that we want them to be? Are they in the good state, that will function to protect lives and property? So what they call oversight function is very key in making sure that security perform its constitutional mandate as enshrined in our constitution. So all these things put together is what our interest for our communities will be.
One challenging problem is that for any crime there is no consequences to its effect. Therefore, another person tends to do it the same because Mr. A did, he was not punished. Mr. B wants to do. What do you, if you get into the house, what do you tend to do?
Well, these are independent. Like the judiciary had their own functions.
Yes.
And we'll continue to appeal them and also continue to look at how we can strengthen laws that will give the judiciary more independence. Because the independence of the judiciary is key to the survival of our system, to the growth of our democracy. And the sustaining of our democracy is actually hinged on it. So we will look at legislation that will help deepening that cause of independence, to make sure that they have the red light charge like they are, to make sure that judiciary they have all the things that need to work. As a speaker, our judges are still writing in longhand. We mainstream technology into the judiciary in the best way, in possible way, so that services and all that will improve and things will be seamlessly done to make sure that it gives comfort to those who are practicing within that sector.
My last question, why should Nigerians believe, trust and vote for Peter Obi?
Peter Obi is the answer. You can't even kill an idea whose time has come. People say, oh, Nigerian youth are frustrated. No, they have been presidential candidate over the years. I was a presidential candidate. If they were frustrated, why didn't they transfer it to me? They saw in Peter Obi that thing that needs to change Nigeria. Somebody that can manage resources, somebody that is prudent in the management of our resources, somebody that can save for Nigeria. If you read Okonjo-Iweala's book about the sovereign wealth fund, you look at what she said. Every other governor was the fact against saving money for the rainy day. Only Peter Obi was in favor of saving money for the rainy day, and one other person. So when you look at this one, it's enough for you to have this thing. Peter Obi is from the southeast. As I'm talking to you, Buhari is building road to Kano, Niger, and other things. The only road that leads to southeast pass through Kogi.
Yes.
The major road that leads to southeast.
And it's bad.
It's bad. It's in a bad state. So maybe you know what Igalas will benefit from Peter Obi presidency. And for me, if you look at closeness and proximity and both cultural affiliation, we do almost the same. We have palm wine tradition with the Igbos. We have kola nut tradition with the Igbos. We have masquerade tradition with the Igbos. We have even double wrapper tying with the Igbos for our women. We go Ikea for it. We have something that is closer. But over the years there has been so much distance. But for me, this election is not about tribe. It's not about religion, but about competence, merit, and ability. And that person that fit into that right now, among the presidential candidates is Peter Obi. It's not any driven interest. It's for the fact that we want Nigeria to work. And if Nigeria must go from consumption, massive consumption, importation, and go to production, Peter Obi should be the answer for all of us.
Look at the camera and call the people to vote for Peter Obi.
I want to talk to our people. This is not time to say party is supreme. This is the time to say Nigeria is supreme. The interest of Nigeria is supreme. The interest of our children is supreme. This is the time to say that the interest and the survival of our country is supreme. Because we must save this country from this declining state of economic, disruptive economic policies. We must save this country. And I plead with you as my people that we will not mislead you, that you should put your confidence in us, put it through in us so that we can donate this to Peter Obi. Let him become the president of Nigeria, because it is the voice to minority become president. Because as it is, you cannot be driving the presidency around tribe, around majority tribe, we must drive it along competence, along ability, along people who can perform. That means it will now become our turn, because we have a lot of Igala young sons and daughters who can perform. So Peter Obi is not just representing an ethnic group, is representing the people, is representing the interest of a good working Nigeria, of a progressive Nigeria. And we, the Igala nation, sincerely will benefit more from the Peter Obi presidency than any other person. Please vote for Peter Obi.